You have entered Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. It is a new era for professional wrestling fans, and your host, the host with the most, Alyx Just Alyx, is here to bring you all the news when it comes to the new merger of WWE, UFC, and Endeavor, known as the TKO Group. I think it's called TKO Group Holdings. That's the official name. Holdings Inc., perhaps. Holdings Incorporated. There's a lot of news. And when I say a lot of news, a lot of news. There's so much to comb through. And don't worry, I got you. We gonna comb through it. It's a lot. I'm gonna be real with you. Expect this to go almost 2 hours. I hope you didn't have much going on for the rest of the day. But this is going to go long. Because I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm going to read some stuff. We're going to find out some things together. Then you're going to get my overall opinion. And I'm going to be straightforward with you. Whatever is going on with the business side of things, whatever is happening on that front, I don't really care about, if I'm being honest with you. Great for WWE. Great for Nick Khan, Triple H, Vince McMahon, as much as I hate to admit it. Great stuff for everyone involved on that part of things. Executives are popping bottles. But I don't care about that part of WWE. All I care about is the creative side. How is this going to affect the weekly TV product? Are we going to see a more raw, more TV-14, more mature WWE? Is he going to remain PG? Is Vince McMahon going to have more power or less power? Are we going to see crossovers? Are we going to start seeing UFC talent show up in WWE and vice versa? I mean, Ronda Rousey is supposed to be going back to UFC, which is kind of hilarious because we're like, oh wait, so she left WWE, but did she really leave? Because if it's all the same group, Ronda is just leaving TKO and coming back to TKO. She's just going to a different part of TKO, which I think is absolutely hilarious. That when someone leaves and goes to UFC, so let's say CM Punk, which we will talk about, by the way, he is a big part of this. Let's say he wants to go back to UFC. Well, technically, he would be going back to WWE too. It's hilarious when you think about it from that perspective. It's all the same thing now. Now, I can just tell you, on the surface of it, it doesn't really look like much has changed. If you look at the press release, you go on their website, you check out who is in what position. Triple H is still in charge of creative. He's still the chief content officer. Nick Khan is still the president. Vince is still the executive chairman. The only thing that's different is Vince is no longer the boss. He is no longer the CEO. That's now Ari Emanuel. But just because he's not all that, again, on paper, everything looks like nothing has changed. But just because these people have certain powers and positions on paper doesn't mean that behind scenes it's not a different kind of thing. I've seen businesses before. I know businesses right now that say, okay, so-and-so is the CEO, but the one really running the company is this guy right here. We've seen it happen. And anytime you have that unknown factor involved, and I'm not just talking about Vince McMahon, I'm talking about Ari Emanuel. You don't know where it's going to go. Now, the Trump card, no pun intended, Trump, is Vince. We have to really see how this will play out, knowing now that Vince McMahon is no longer in charge. It's one thing when he owned WWE. He could throw his weight around, you're fired! You know, even when he was no longer the CEO, he still had majority voting power, which still gave him a ton of pull, right? So much pull that he could literally flip the board of directors. The only people that could have fired him was the board of directors, and he was able to completely flip. He was able to fire some people and then run off his daughter, Stephanie McMahon. So he had a lot of pull when it was just WWE. He don't got that no more. He gave all of that up. For what exactly, I wonder? Because to me, he couldn't have just given all that up for creative control, right? For full control of creative. It had to be something else. Like, is he that obsessed with having say over his product? Because he had that. That's what's killing me here. Because the people arguing that Vince McMahon did this so he could have more control over the product, I don't think you could have had any more control over it than what you already had. Like, he had WWE by the balls. By the absolute bottom scrotum. And it was an iron grip. He could get away with anything. So, I have to question what the real motive here was. Did Vince give control over to Ari Emanuel just to have more say on the TV product? Was that the only way he was going to get it? I don't know, man. I will say this before we get into it, because we have a lot to get into. We have to be careful that we're not too naive about this. And I'm guilty of this as well. There's two sides of the naive spectrum here we have to look at. The first perspective here is this idea that he has no control, which is what I want. I want Vince to have no say, no control, stay the fuck away from WWE. That's what I want. And that's never going to happen. Like, the only time Vince is going to have absolutely no control is when he's dead. Sounds cold, but it's true. That's the only time that he is not, well, okay. Also, if he gets fired again, but ultimately is when he's dead. It's when he's dead. Because even, let's just say by circumstance, he does something so stupid, so fucked up, that Ari Emanuel has no choice but to fire him. And he doesn't have majority voting power. He can't bully his way back into the company, because once he's fired this time, that's it. And they hire Stephanie back, nah, he's gone. He's gone. But let's just say he loses all control. You don't think Triple H is going to be calling him for ideas? I think we know better now that Triple H, he looks up to Vince as more than just a father figure. That's someone he looks up to for guidance, for reassurance. So somehow, some way, Vince is going to be involved, for better or worse. So the idea that he's going to be gone completely, is out of the question. That's not going to happen until he's dead. That being said, the other side of that coin, people who think he's going to have full control, as in WWE is his baby now, he can do whatever he wants again. That I don't know either. I'm not even sure that's going to be possible now. Because he no longer has a position to throw his weight around. Triple H now is in a great position to where he can say, hey, bruh, this ain't your call no more. The person that he has to listen to, Triple H has to listen to, is Nick Khan. That's it. Triple H doesn't have to listen to Vince. Yeah, he might be executive chairman of the board, but ultimately, he might oversee WWE, but does he really have power over these guys? Because last I checked, the one person that has the power to fire people is the CEO, which, he's not CEO no more. Well, there goes his leverage. Now, again, I'm just going to put this out there. Vince McMahon, he has the ability to have influence over people. So who knows? Ari Emanuel might be one of those people that's easy to flip and manipulate, and Vince can make him his puppet. And then, then that's an issue. Maybe. But if Ari is halfway sane, which I'm hoping he is, we don't know what that devil's going to be like, but if he's halfway sane, then I would think Ari Emanuel wants to create an environment where people are happy to come and work. And if Vince McMahon is given full control, you know you'll see a mass exodus of wrestlers. You won't see like the massive exodus. You won't see like a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins or a Cody Rhodes or all of them leave. But you'll see the lower talent that don't get TV time, like a Johnny Gargano, they're out. And then once they start leaving, that's when Ari Emanuel has to step in and go, you gotta go, Vince. And that's just with the product. We're not even talking about the scandals. I didn't even mention what's going on with him and the U.S. government or U.S. agents raiding his office and raiding his place like Trump got raided. Not to mention the scandal with all the NDAs, with all the women he forced himself on. You honestly think that none of that shit's gonna come up again? This man has decades of dirt behind him. And here's the thing, and I said it before. If Vince gets fired this time, if this board of directors tells Vince, we don't have confidence in you, we unanimously remove you from your position, you are fired. There is no forcing your way back in. You hear me? There is no, I'll go away for a couple of months and then come back. No. He gave away the keys to the castle to Ari Emanuel. So if Vince gets fired this time, that's it. With that in mind, will he be throwing his weight around? It's easy to throw your weight around when it's your company. I'll do whatever the hell I want. You don't like it, you can leave. It's my company. It ain't your company no more. That's what I need people to understand here. This is a new era. When I tell you this is the end of an era, I mean it. The WWE has been on top for over 4 decades, and the man at the helm, the captain of the ship, was Vincent Kennedy McMahon. For better and for worse. And WWE has seen some of the most biggest financial growth periods on and off screen. That I would dare say, not just any wrestling company, but any company, period, in the existence of business, of worldwide, American, global, international business. He's a legend. He's a typhoon. He's an icon. On and off screen. But there will come a time, well, where people will have to say, Vince is past your prime. And then when that happens, he has put himself in a position to where someone can tell him, you gotta go. And he can't fight it back. Which is baffling to me. You gotta understand, this is crazy. Vince has put himself in a position of vulnerability. He is no longer the boss. He is an employee. Same thing can be said about Dana White. These men went from being 2 of the biggest head honchos in the world of American business to not just being 2 employees under Ari Emanuel. Now, both of them probably did that for their own reasons. Of course, we're talking about Vince McMahon and his scandals. Dana White has a couple of scandals too. Right? So they probably both did this to protect their own asses. Which is, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Again, though, all I care about, I don't give a shit about whether Vince is doing this to protect his own ass, to stop him from going to jail. Same thing with Dana White. I don't care how much he's making in terms of executive chairman or how much WWE is going to make. That's great and all. Man, look, I think, and I'll read on this in a second, the TKO Group is going to gross, or has grossed, over like $20 billion. I don't even think that number is accurate. I think it might be more. So, they got money. Money. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. As a wrestling fan, not a UFC fan, not a TKO Group fan, Ari Emanuel, don't know anything about him, really couldn't care less if I ever did. What is this going to do to the weekly product? What's going to happen to Monday Night Raw? What's going to happen to NXT? What's going to happen to Friday Night SmackDown? What's going to happen to the pay-per-views? Are we going to have to pay for pay-per-views like we're doing with freaking AEW over here? Who's making us pay for pay-per-views back-to-back? Tony. Speaking of TKO Group, Tony Khan's office. Get it? Anyways. Had to say it. Saw someone put it in the live chat. But yeah, like, what's that going to happen? What's that going to do when it comes to my enjoyment of the product? How's about we get to it? Now that I've set the floor, now that I've got you guys clamoring for some details, let's not waste any time. Let's pay these bills. Let me say hi to the live chat. Let me say hi to all of you. Do the sponsorship. Get right to the show. So if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it. Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, hot topic, or review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate after the fact. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. And give me a follow on TikTok. Why? Because I'm the tickest of the talkest. Boy! Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. Super chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school The Last Man t-shirt. Get your new school Alex's World t-shirt. But most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. My America. The remix t-shirt made by It's Shane Oxen, Firestar Heart. All this down below in the description box. Welcome everybody. Big crowd. Over 200. Well, oh, never mind. 240. 240 is getting higher. How high can you go? A lot of people who are watching me live, I appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. You can do me a solid favor. Please like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. We really appreciate it. So we're at 200 and, well, it dropped to 230. It's okay. 10 people said, he talking too much. They'll come back in a second. I promise. If you can get me to 100 before the shout-outs are done, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll do a backflip. Nah, I'll bust my ass. I need to live. I'll do a rant on Nia Jax, since y'all want me to talk about her so goddamn much. Get me to 100 likes before the shoutouts are done, and I'll do a quick rant on Nia Jax being back. Although I did a short, I'll do a rant for you right now. Sounds good? Okay, so I'm 14 likes away from 100 likes. That's the deal. You want me to rant on Nia Jax? Get me to 100 likes. So super chats are on. Get your donations in. Shoutouts. Let's start from the top. We got Wrestling God. He asks, is this going to be a live reaction or a live stream? This is a live stream. Hope you're joining me. Brandel. Ooh. Is it Salda? Brandel. Good to have you here. Music covers. Marlon Nicholson. He says, it ain't an different era. McMahon still in charge. McMahon. Not McMahon, but McMahon. McMahon is still in charge, and until that's no more, you can say otherwise. Again, that's naive thinking. I don't think he's fully in control. I also don't think he has no control. I'm in the middle, but we'll talk about that. Lee Mexico. Debit money. Debit money Adams. How did I do it last time? Did I go money? Debit money Adams or something like that? I'll work on it. That one didn't work as much. Yeah. Sean Swaby, baby, it's in the house. Good to have you here. Jojo, Mojo. JJ, who let the dogs out? Who? Bulldog, I owe you a couple of woofs because I missed out on the last time. Sean Franklin, Sammy Bissou or Bissou? Bissou. Dro Davidian? Dro Davidian. That's it, right? Joe Davidian. Ron Acaves. Juan Acaves. A new subscriber. Welcome, Mr. Juan Acaves. Delayed Gets. Is it Delayed Greats or Delayed Gets? Oops, Delayed Greats. I can't read today. What's wrong with me? Delayed Greats. Brett Gerard. The Al Johnson Show. Mr. Unfamiliar. YouTube member, Mr. Unfamiliar. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? 3 more, then we can get started with the rant. Apparently, I have over 100 likes. Great. Christopher Carter, Cerebral Assassin. It's Steve Callan, and the last but not least, we're gonna give it to it's a lot of people. I gotta pick one. AK King in his house, who hasn't been watching WWE. Well, we'll figure this one out. Thank you guys for watching. So, before I came here, you know, your boy's been trying to clean his body out. He's been eating healthy, he's been drinking water, he's been exercising. And so, in the process of cleaning my body out, I've been making sure that my bathroom habits are actually pretty clean. You know what I mean? And the other day, I took a massive Nia Jax! It was so massive that it might have clogged up the goddamn toilet. And unfortunately, this is a type of Nia Jax that WWE will have a problem flushing for the longest time because she won't go away. It's just a massive Nia Jax that's just stuck in the bowl that you have to keep looking at on a weekly basis. Who asked for this? Why did you ask for this? Why would you want to see someone drop a massive Nia Jax in your homes on a weekly basis? When I was watching Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez on Monday, and I'm not gonna lie, the match was kind of slow. It wasn't really doing it for me. I was like, all right, this ain't it. Look, y'all giving it y'all best. I respect it. I understand that you want this to work. Raquel ain't it. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, Raquel Rodriguez ain't it. She needs work. Something's there, But what she is now ain't clicking. And they gave them a lot of TV time, which again, they had a ton of time to make it work. It just didn't work. Seriously, it didn't work. And so I'm like, okay, this match can't get any worse. Just end it. End it before it gets worse. Oh, but then it got worse. It got worse in the most possible manner. Because before the match ended, a Nia Jax, a wild Nia Jax appeared and helped Rhea Ripley beat up Raquel Rodriguez. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, whatever. A Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax feud is probably exactly what Raquel needs to become a babyface, because fuck Nia Jax. I'm not the biggest fan of Raquel Rodriguez, but I'll get behind her. I'll get behind her to get rid of Nia Jax. Oh, but no! Because Nia Jax attacked Rhea Ripley, because that's what I want to see. I want to see Nia Jax as women's champion. No, I don't! Who wants to see that? What is wrong with y'all? Who thought in their right mind, you know what match I haven't seen? You know who I haven't seen in a long time? Nia Jax. I want to see her back. I don't get it. She's not a good talker. She's not a good wrestler. She's actually really bad at it. She hurts people. She has no personality. She's very wooden on the microphone. I don't understand what benefit you get from her besides her being big. You know who else is big? Nikita Lyons. And at least there's a lot to appreciate with that one. Giggity. But so much so when it comes to Nia Jax, I don't get it. Well, she's related to The Rock. Okay! Roman Reigns is related to The Rock. The Usos are related to The Rock. Tamina is related to The Rock. I would rather have Tamina than Nia Jax. But no, unfortunately, for the next few weeks, we have to deal with my hole! My hole! Nia Jax. Huh? I said Nia Jax. Huh? Nia Jax. Huh? Thank you for the subscription. One person subscribed because of my rant. I guess it was worth it. It has to be worth it, because fuck this. There's your rant. I guess I'll do another one if you get me to 200 likes. With that said, let's get to it. Let's talk about the big news. The TKO Group. Look, a lot of this stuff, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still not certain about myself. So we're going to read a lot. There's going to be a lot of reading. I'm going to be reading from everybody. I'm going to be reading from CBS Sports, ESPN, Variety. And then I'm going to take a look at Wrestling Inc. And then you're just going to get my thoughts. So, let's start off with Variety. Variety dropped a massive article on this merger that I would like to read right here. So, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just going to read a little bit of it. We're going to pull it up here. I like how they open things up. Again, WWE, UFC officially merged to form TKO Group. And new stock trading has started. Here's what it says. It says the marriage of UFC and WWE is complete. Endeavor and WWE announced that the close of their deal. I can't speak or read, apparently. Endeavor and WWE announced the close of their deal to create TKO Group Holdings, merging the wrestling entertainment company and MMA leader, UFC. The hope is that the tag teaming as a unified force, that by tag teaming as a unified force, UFC and WWE together will be stronger than they could be separately. TKO together boasts more than 1 billion fans around the world, reaching viewers in 180 countries and producing more than 350 annual live events. Jesus fucking Christ. The company's new website is the TKOgroup.com. Let's take a look, shall we? Look at that. The premium sports and entertainment company. 1 billion fans. Literally everything that we just talked about. 1 billion social media followers across the board. And it's just going to cover everything. Okay. Interesting. That's the opening video package. Let's look at, let me see here. What do I want to look at? Learn more. It says here, TKO Group Holdings, Inc. is a premium sports and entertainment company that comprises UFC, the world's premier mixed martial arts organization, and WWE, an integrated media organization and the recognized global leader in sports entertainment. So y'all can have fun with that one. All right, so we're going to get down to some brass tacks here. We need to go ahead and talk about what does this mean for the people involved, right? Well, it says right here, Endeavor holds a 51% controlling interest in the new company, and existing WWE shareholders hold 49% interest on a fully diluted basis. With the launch of TKO, WWE shares will cease trading on the NYSE. WWE closed up 2.7 Monday to $100 a share. The price of TKO shares is pegged to WWE's stock price, which has factored in the cut over to the new issue. I have no idea what that means because I don't do stocks. What do you think this is? Vince McMahon. This is what you guys want to hear. Vince McMahon, former CEO of WWE, assumes the role of executive chairman of the TKO Group. Under the terms of the deal, McMahon, who was WWE's controlling shareholder, will now own 16.4% of the economic interest in TKO, which means that's his voting power. He went from having 81%, I think, to now having 16%. Wow. That's crazy. Skipping ahead a little bit, according to Endeavor, the TKO deal will result in an estimated $50 million to $100 million in annualized run rate cost synergies, including by migrating WWE to Endeavor's back office infrastructure. The cost savings target presumably will also include layoffs at UFC and WWE, but the companies have not announced details about job cuts at the point. So that's something people are a little bit worried about. People getting cut. Job cuts here and there. I'll have a lot to say about that when I give my opinions. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that. But let's talk about Emanuel, Dana White, Tony Khan, Nick Khan, and others. So, Ari Emanuel, serving as TKO CEO, the new company's management team comprises Mark Shapiro, Mark Shapiro, as president and COO, who continues as president and chief operating officer of Endeavor. CFO, Andrew Shalimer, Mr. Andrew, and chief legal officer Seth Krause, who continues as chief legal officer of Endeavor. Dana White is now CEO of UFC, and Lawrence Espin remains senior executive vice president and CEO of UFC. So Dana White didn't really lose much. He was the CEO, and he's still the CEO. Nick Khan continues at WWE in a role of president and will have a seat on TKO's board. Okay. Interesting. And no one cares about transactions. Who gives a fuck? WWE executives will receive bonus sale bonus, cash payments, and in connection with the TKO Group deal. Khan got $15 million. Kevin Dunn got $7 million. Paul Levesque, Triple H, got $5 million. Frank Riddick got $5 million. No idea who the fuck he is. Don't care. Vince McMahon made this statement. This is the culmination of a decade-long partnership between Endeavor and WWE across strategic initiatives, including talent representation and media rights. Given our collaborative, trusted relationship and Endeavor's incredible track record of success growing UFC, we believe the WWE is optimally positioned for future growth and success as part of TKO. Our focus remains on delivering for our fans across the globe as we take the business to the next level alongside UFC and Endeavor. Ho, 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 ho. And if you don't like it, he can't fire nobody no more. He's not CEO. Uh-oh. He gave that up. So just to kind of go over what the board's going to look like. Here's what the board looks like. Vince McMahon, Ari Emanuel, who's the CEO. That's the one who's in charge. Mark Shapiro, Nick Khan, Peter Bino, whatever. Egon Durbin, Stephen Koonin, CEO of the Atlanta Hawks, nice. Jonathan Kraft, Sonia Medina Williams, Nancy Tellem, and Carrie Wheeler. These are some weird people, by the way. Watch this. Senior advisor at multinational law firm DLA Piper. What the fuck does he have to do with UFC and WWE? Co-CEO of private equity firm Silver Lake. What the fuck? Atlanta Hawks. I mean, I can somewhat understand that, but why? Again, like Jonathan Kraft, president of the New England Patriots. I understand that. Reach resilience. And watch this. Nancy Tellem, executive chairperson and chief media officer of interactive video company Echo. Like, what do these have to do with anything? I don't get it. But that's your board. So UFC, ultimately, because UFC and Endeavor are the same thing, they ultimately own a majority of everything now. So WWE now works for UFC. It is what it is. So, what does this mean? The question you're asking for yourselves, how much has changed? Let me see here for a second. Let me read this. Where we want to get is where every UFC fan is a WWE fan and every WWE fan is a UFC fan. That's not going to happen. The merger was first announced in April. WWE has been seeking a merger, and Khan told ESPN he believes McMahon really started thinking about Endeavor as a partner when McMahon's daughter Stephanie, and WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Levesque attended UFC 276 in July 2022. McMahon and White were instrumental in building their respective enterprises from the ground up and are thought of as two of the most influential combat sports promoters ever. Forever. Together. Khan, who, while with CAA, helped WWE negotiate its last media rights deal before becoming McMahon's top executive in 2020, said there are similar characteristics in the DNA of both companies. Khan goes on to say, it's not really his thing to go to baseball games, football games. It's just not what he does. When he decided, I want to go, and when he went, that's when I believe he started thinking about it. And it all started to manifest when we engaged in a fulsome process starting this past January. Alright, this is important. You ready? There are no plans for massive changes. See that? Massive changes to the respective products, both said. Let me see. Epstein and said White will still run the day-to-day operations of the UFC, and Levesque will remain the head of creative for WWE. What could happen, Epstein said, is the UFC and WWE holding major events on the same weekend in one city, and the two promotions going to tourism authorities and selling them on paying for the UFC and WWE as a package deal coming for their jurisdiction. And blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of important. Let me see if CBS said anything new. I think honestly, this isn't much. Like this right here. The merger also opens the door to future crossovers. Brock and Ronda, for example, have already won world championships in both organizations. Former two-division UFC champion Daniel Cormier recently acted as a special guest referee at Extreme Rules. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they're really not really adding much to the now already said. So, let me be sure. I don't have anything else to add. So, now we get to talk about what does this mean about employees. This is the part where we get into who's going to be fired here. And what does this mean for the talent? Is this going to affect the main roster? Well, according to what I've read here with Wrestling Inc., doesn't really seem like it's going to affect the wrestlers. More so the employees, the people behind scenes. Because, look, if the TKO Group is going to be in charge of marketing, social media, they're going to have one platform, it's all going to be under one group, then WWE doesn't need a marketing team. WWE doesn't need two social media teams. WWE doesn't need a whatever aspect that they can't already get through TKO Group, right? So when you think about it that way, if you're working for WWE and you're not a wrestler, you might be screwed. You might be screwed. Hate to say it, but you're probably screwed. And that does suck. I don't like the fact that we're going to see a lot of these people backstage lose their jobs because there really isn't a need for them. And that does suck. But, you know what? A lot of these people that work with WWE, let's be real, they probably made enough money to get by on their own. And a lot of these other roles, if I'm being completely honest with you, are they really needed? Because I don't think they are. I don't think they are. So, in terms of wrestlers, is it a possibility that certain wrestlers will be fired? There's always a possibility. I don't know if it will be as frequent as it was. Because when Vince McMahon was CEO, keep this in mind, when Vince McMahon was CEO, he could do whatever he wanted. He wanted to fire 50% of the roster, they got fired. Well, he doesn't have the power to fire people now. That's Ari Emanuel. So, I can't really answer that question. I don't think Ari Emanuel has an opinion on the wrestling product. I think he'll keep them around as long as they don't cause trouble. Like Matt Riddle, what's going on with him right now? Apparently he's going through something. He said that a freaking cop harassed him, and now it was so bad that they took him off the show last night, Monday Night Raw. I don't know. With him, he might be gone. But then you have another person that we have to think about. We're now talking about people who could be fired. What does this mean for people who could come in? More specifically, CM Punk. Because Nick Khan was asked about CM Punk. And you know, with it being a brand new company, a brand new executive branch, anything's possible. It's a completely new place to be. So, the idea that CM Punk couldn't go there, first off, let's just say it was still WWE. I still would have told you never say never. Because Vince McMahon would probably bring him back anyways, even if it's just to spite AEW. Because let's just keep this 100%. If they can bring back Ultimate Warrior, they could bring back Hulk Hogan, who have done far worse than Phillip Brooks has ever done. They can bring back CM Punk. Now with there being a new person in charge, now with this being a different WWE, a different company altogether, it's basically like starting over again. And this response by Nick Khan just says it all to you. Because while speaking with ESPN about the WWE Endeavor deal, Nick Khan was asked about CM Punk. Here's what he had to say. He said, "Listen, we only have respect for Phil. We appreciate his run here. We appreciate what he did and tried to do with the UFC. Not many people can actually get in there and do what he did. So when we have respect for Phil, we wish him nothing but the best." Now, that last line, we wish him nothing but the best. This is what Nick Khan does. He answers your question without answering it. The question was, do you see CM Punk returning? His answer was, hey, we respect him. We appreciate him for what he did. We wish him the best. It's like, is that a yes or no? Like, is that a yes or no? It's neither. It's a non-answer. And what did I tell y'all? What do I tell you in business? If it's not a yes. With that being said, I think they're keeping the door open for CM Punk. They're just waiting. They're just waiting to see how things look. I always tell people this all the time. I like to tell people this when it comes to business. When you're dealing with people with this much money, especially with a Nick Khan, he does not give a fuck about your well-being, about your working conditions, about what you do inside or outside. What he cares about is this: money. You really think Nick Khan will lose sleep over firing the employees that are eventually going to be fired? Nah. Hell, Nick Khan could lose every single person on the WWE roster today. He'd be like, all right, I'm going to go make money elsewhere. These people are ruthless. You don't get to this position by being a nice person. These people, the Nick Khans, the Ari Emanuels, the Dana Whites, the Mark Shapiros, the Vince McMahons, the billionaire millionaires, look here. Once you reach that point, you kind of lose your humanity a little bit. Not even a little bit, all the way. Because you stop living like a normal human being because you have so much money, you can literally have anything you want. So, we have to keep that in mind when things progress here. So, ultimately, where do I see this going? Is this ultimately going to be a good thing for WWE? Is this ultimately going to lead to progress, to great times? Is the future looking good? Are we about to see a whole new era? Are things going to change? Well, here's why I give you my opinion. And my opinion is going to shock you. I think short term, it might get a little bad. But long term, I can see this being a good thing. Now, put an asterisk next to that, because I don't know a single thing about Ari Emanuel. I don't know about his scandals. I don't know if he was in jail. I don't know if he's done something dirty. Most people who are billionaires have. I don't even know if he's the same person. Apparently, he's a Vince McMahon fan, but he's also a Dana White fan. I think he's just a fan of people with money. So, I don't know much about him. So, because of that, what I just told you could completely go out the window within a couple of months. But ultimately, I truly believe that things are going to get better. And here's why. Vince McMahon, despite how much power he has, and we'll get into that in just a second, he signed a 2-year contract. He's not going to be doing this forever. He's in his 80s. He just had like intense spinal surgery. If that's true, by the way. Didn't look like he did. But he just had intense spinal surgery. He's getting up there. So he's not going to be around forever. And I'm pretty sure when he's gone, Stephanie will just jump right back in and she'll get his spot. And I see what they're doing, this TKO Group, WWE, UFC. Because this is such a big conglomerate now, this is going to last forever. This is the kind of thing that's going to last centuries, right? This is going to last well beyond our years. By the time you're 50, and you're probably, what? People watching me, where are you? 25, 18, whatever, right? You're within that, 18 to 49, right? By the time some of you turn 50 and you're young, this will still be around. The people in charge won't be around, but this will still be around. That's how big this is. And because it's gonna last a long time, short term, it might not be good. Like, I'm really considering the worst possible scenario here. It might not be good short term, but long term, this is probably going to be the best decision that they made. I think it was well past the time. It was well past the time to sell the company. You hear me? It's been time for Vince to give control over to someone else. Y'all agree with me, right? He's just not capable of running as CEO no more. So to me, as long as Vince McMahon is not in charge, has full control, it can only get better from there. So, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Does this mean Vince McMahon is going to have more control over creative when it comes to WWE? Well, if I'm being honest with you, yeah. Short term, sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he started ripping up scripts Saturday. It's not. Saturday night's not right for fighting. I said not right. You heard me. Because it's not the right night. We'll pay reviews. But anyways, Friday night, SmackDown and Raw. He'll probably try to rip up some scripts. He'll probably do it. He might actually get his way. Vince McMahon will probably have influence over the next few months. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to swing his way back into having full control for a little bit up until WrestleMania. Something might happen. Triple H gets taken out of his position and Vince McMahon's in full control. I'm not thinking about short term though. I'm taking short term out of it. Short term, sorry. Yeah, y'all are fucked. I'm gonna just be real with you. Short term, you're probably gonna be seeing the brunt of it. Vince is probably gonna see how much you can get away with. What I'm looking forward to is when Vince oversteps his boundaries. And it's going to happen. Vince is going to do something that goes overboard. Whether it's off screen or on screen. When that happens, and Ari Emanuel is put in a position to reprimand him and or fire him, what will he do then? Because we got to understand something. When Vince McMahon was in trouble in 2022, so much so when he got let go, fired, the board of directors said, and he left, and we thought he was gone for sure. The only reason he was able to come back was because they were trying to sell and negotiate for TV rights, and he bullied his way back in by saying, hey, I'm not going to let you do any of that shit unless you have me as executive chairman. I will let this company die. I will rob you all of you, of your living, of your livelihoods, if you do not give me what I want, executive chairman. And I get to decide who I sell it to. That is the only reason he's back. When he tried to come back earlier, the board unanimously said, no, Vince. This included Triple H, Nick Khan, and Stephanie McMahon. His own family said no. So, I guarantee you, with his place being raided by the UF agents, by federal agents, oh, something else is going to come up. It's only a matter of time. So, yes, more than likely, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe Vince McMahon won't have control. But I know Vince. Short term, things are going to get worse before they get better. Raw's going to suck. SmackDown's going to suck. Pay-per-views are going to suck. Nothing's going to make any goddamn sense. Short term. But long term, he'll weed himself out. He will weed himself out. And this time, he'll be fired. And when he's fired, that's it. Because that's my thing. Everyone was worried when Vince McMahon got fired the first time. Because we was like, well, he still has majority ownership. He can come back in at any time. The board of directors won't let him come back in. But eventually, that was going to come back to bite them. Well, here's the thing. It's a new board. And he has no voting power. So even if he does get fired and he loses his position and still has stock in the company, he won't have majority voting power. Literally meaning if they terminate his employee contract, that's it. He's done. So with that in mind, there is a side of me that thinks that Vince would be on his best behavior. But see, this is Vince McMahon. So he's always going to test the waters first. He's going to wait till he gets burned the first time and then see what he can get away with. See, he's not going to show up in Gorilla and work with talent because the talent doesn't like him. There are people in WWE right now that have told Triple H if Vince comes back, they're gone. They're just going to not show up. They will leave if Vince comes back and is in full control. So, I don't think Vince is going to take full control. Like I said at the beginning of my stream, if you're thinking Vince is going to come back and just completely take over WWE, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't think he can do that. I don't think they will allow him to do that. He's not just going to go in there and completely just change all the plans. He will get pushback. Maybe by Triple H. But he will get pushback by the talent, by Triple H, by someone above him. And by that point, if he gets pushback, he's not in a position to go, you're fired. You want to know why? Because he's not the CEO. He might have some pull. He might be able to get some people fired. But in terms of the TV product, I think that's Nick Khan, right? I'm trying to see the pecking order here. Nick Khan is the president over WWE, not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is the executive chairman of TKO. Right? Nick Khan is the president of WWE. And Triple H ultimately answers to Nick Khan. So, he would probably have to go through Ari Emanuel to make it happen. But ultimately, everyone answers to Nick Khan now. And as long as you're making money and you're not costing him money, Nick Khan don't give a fuck what you do. Now, let's just get something straight. If you're thinking that things will get better under Nick Khan, don't fool yourself. He's just as ruthless as Vince McMahon. Probably even more ruthless. We just haven't seen it yet. I'm just saying, at least Nick Khan won't be ripping up scripts. You get me? He won't be making creative changes because the sun decided not to shine for 3 hours today and it's very cloudy and it's raining. He won't be making in calls, I don't like that Rhea Ripley chick. Put the belt on Nia Jax. Nick Khan's just like, Triple H, is this going to make me money? Good. That's all I care about. That's Nick Khan. Will it draw me money? Cool. I don't think long-term Vince McMahon is going to work out. I think short-term, he'll be a fucking nightmare. Sorry. Deal with it. For at least a year and a half. All right? Just grin and bear it. You'll still have your Cody Rhodes moments. I see some people in the live chat. So if it's bad on TV, blame Triple H. No. Like I told you, like Vince is gonna try to influence some things, and Triple H is gonna let him do it for maybe a short time. But eventually, Vince will get pushed back. When he gets that pushback and they tell him, no, that's stupid, we're not gonna do it, let's see what happens. Will TKO back Vince? And in that case, maybe Vince will get full creative control by that point. And if that's what happens, then you know what? We saw it coming. Or will they back Triple H and tell Vince, yo, Vince, chill? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Regardless of how and when it happens, long term, Vince McMahon will weed himself out. Because he can't help himself. Vince will screw Vince over. You think these scandals are the last time we'll see it? You think these are the only scandals we know about? Vince McMahon's been around for over what? How old is he? 78? Guy's been around for 5 decades. You honestly think that he hasn't fucked up some shit? This guy has so many skeletons in his closet. Guys, we still don't know exactly what led the company to firing him. Do you understand me? Like, how bad does it have to be that the entire board of directors said, Vince, you gotta go? Eventually, this will come to the surface, and all his other skeletons will come out. Vince will not last long. Short term, he's going to be your worst nightmare. Don't expect to see CM Punk. Expect more Nia Jax. Expect some other people that Vince likes. Expect to return to 24/7 championships. Expect NXT to have a bigger presence with main roster talent. Expect stupid decisions like maybe Roman Reigns will hold the belt for over 2,000 days. Expect Cody Rhodes to lose at WrestleMania. Expect the worst. Expect LA Knight to be buried. I don't expect the worst because it's Vince McMahon. He's out of touch. Doesn't know what he's doing. But eventually, he will weed himself out. Now, like I told you, Vince will always have input when it comes to WWE. Even when he's fired, Triple H will always call him. But here's what I'm going to say. I would rather Vince have input verbally in terms of just talking creative with Triple H than for him to have full control. Vince McMahon, look, say what you want. He's out of touch now. But there was a period of time when Vince Russo was running the show and Vince McMahon was Vince Russo's filter. They were creating some of the best pieces of television I have ever seen. Hey, look, you can say Paul Heyman came in and did this, Vince Russo came in and did that, Ryan Ward came in and did this, Brian Gewirtz came in and did that. Who okayed all of it? Vince McMahon. So, I'm not going to sit here and say Vince won't come up with some good ideas. There might be 1 or 2 ideas still left in that 78-year-old mind that when Triple H hears it and it's on TV, we're going to go, okay, Vince, facts. I like it. That's good, Vince. There might be 1 or 2 left. So him having input behind scenes where he has no control but just giving his thoughts, fine. I am fine with that. I do not think, and I pray to God over time, he should have any control over day-to-day operations, over decisions of the timing of the shows, who gets TV time, who doesn't get TV time, how much time they get on TV, who gets pushed, who doesn't get pushed. No more. He is out of touch. He doesn't know what the fans want. He knows what he wants. And I'm sorry, Vince. When it comes to this business, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't get what you want. And for the sake of the TKO Group, if this is going to be a company and a conglomerate that's going to be around for not just decades but centuries, they gotta move forward. They need new, fresher minds. They need a fresh vision. They need younger, more intelligent people to steer the ship. Vince is too old. He's too old. He's too old. He is no longer in a position where he can make those decisions anymore. And so for me, it doesn't matter where they go with it. If they want Vince to be in charge, okay. It'll be short term because he'll weed himself out. If they don't want him to be in charge, but then he tries to, throw his weight around, maybe talk to Triple H and get what he wants that way, okay, that'll be short term too, because eventually someone will push back. Whether it's the wrestlers, whether it's Triple H, whether it's Nick Khan, whether it's someone above him. Someone will push back and be like, Vince, stop that. And he's going to have to stop it, otherwise he'll be fired. Or maybe he'll finally realize, you know what, I'm good now. I'm chill. And he won't get involved. I don't know. Short term, long term, he'll be gone soon. You all know it's true. The final thing we're going to do, I'm going to look at this video from, let me see here. I'm going to look at this video from Facebook. And I want to get your guys' opinions on it real quick. I think I might be able to pull it up. Okay, I seem to be having problems pulling it up, guys. Let me know if you see it. Okay. Are we good? Are we back? I'm so sorry, y'all. Are we back? Okay. Okay, I think I might be back. Okay, I think it just froze up. It might freeze up again. I apologize. That was weird. There's a lot of things going on right now. So, if I have to, I might just have to end the screen. I might just have to end the stream real quick. Because it looks like things are freezing up on my end. Okay, I think I'm good now, though. I think we're good. 1 second. Let me close some of these windows. Okay, I think we're good. It froze up for like 2 seconds. All right. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Sorry about that. Oh, I got scared there for a minute. I was like, oh no. Not after my huge rant. Okay, we're good though. I think what happened was there was a lot of There's a lot of things going on in the background, but I think everything's okay now. It froze for like 2 seconds. Now we're good. All right. They said I'm good, Playboy. All right. So the last thing I want to do is play this video. This is the merger. The official merger of WWE, UFC, and TKO. Check this out. Y'all see that? You got Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, Nick Khan, Vince McMahon, and his mustache. You got Triple H in the background like, why am I here? And you have a special appearance from Bianca Belair. What the fuck is she doing there? Is she an executive? The EST of all that you see. Yeah, man, the hell? I also saw Kevin Dunn. Let's go back real quick. Where you at, Kevin? There he is. There he is. I see you. I see his ass right there, right behind Vince. Kevin Dunn. And Dana White. So, yeah, man. We're gonna have to see what happens. I think short term, this is just my personal opinion. I could be absolutely wrong. Things might get better immediately, and the product is so much better we don't have to worry about it no more. I think we should be prepared for the worst. I think short term, Vince is going to get some type of control over WWE, and he's going to run amok. He's going to run the company into the ground, and people are going to start leaving, or he's going to get some pushback. When the pushback happens, we're going to really see how things play out. Because I do believe he will weed himself out of the equation one way or another. I don't see this lasting long for Vince. He'll either last these next 2 years and then go away right off into the sunset, or he'll get himself fired. But ultimately, we don't know. For all we know, Ari Emanuel might just give him the keys to the castle and he'll be the full owner of the TKO Group. So, time will tell. We'll have to see how things play out. But give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts about this TKO Group merger? Very curious to know what you guys have to say. I won't be doing a live hangout right now because I had to get ready for another meeting. I have a meeting myself I have to take care of. So I'm just going to have to end it here. I apologize. But give me your thoughts. Where does your head sit? Where do your views sit when it comes to the merger? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Is it unnerving? Like, what are you worried about? Do you think Vince McMahon is going to have power? Do you think he'll have power, but then we'll lose it? Do you think he's going to run WWE into the ground? Do you think Ari Emanuel is going to be his bitch buddy and just let him do whatever he wants? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. What do you want to see? That's another comment. What do you want to see come from this merger? But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you for making me a part of your day. As always, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, as well as Cameo, Threads, and all the other stuff. Donate. PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. So, only time will tell how things work. I hope it will get better over the next few years. I'm not expecting it to get better anytime soon. That's how I honestly feel. So the next time you'll see me will be my Impact Wrestling 1000 live reaction on Thursday. I'm gonna react to an Impact Wrestling show. I'm not lying to you. That's on Thursday. So I'll see you then. But maybe it's up by the time you watch this. Just click over to the next video. But other than that, I appreciate you making me a part of my day. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. And as always, you are welcomed right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out. Always know that I'm here for you. Reach out anytime. See you guys next time. Peace.
When you're when you're